What's up everybody, today we're taking a look at the new Stormbringer Enhancement build for Season 2, using both Primordial Wave and Ascendance, because why choose when you can just use both? Following the great retuning of 11.1 where feral spirits have become, well, 50% less feral, and Stormstrike actually does damage, our priorities have shifted a bit, as we put more weight behind our builders rather than only spending. So even though the rotation, if you will, hasn't changed all that much from Stormbringer Storm builds in Season 1, it feels a lot better as your damage isn't tied to only cramming out massive tempests combined with having like 10 feral spirits out. Your entire toolkit now deals damage instead. There's still absolutely insane moments of burst, especially on AoE, and you still play around Tempest to some degree, but how much only time will tell. So going with a physical Stormstrike centered build with physical flowing spirits, but you can also play Witch Doctor's Ancestry, which might be slightly better following the latest flowing spirit nerfs, and you get Storm Blast, Storm Flurry, even Converging Storms, as it actually makes a noticeable difference in Stormstrike damage to bosses with ads or prio trash targets on AoE. More targets, more damage. We only pick up Lava Lash and Molten Assault to spread Flame Shock for Primordial Wave, but we also get Voltaic Blaze to spread Flame Shock, and it does a ton of damage now that it's been fixed. And a lot of the time in dungeons you can save a Voltaic proc as a pack dies and fire it off on a new pack, so you don't have to, you know, press Lava Lash to spread. Then we get the shiny and new reworked Primordial Wave and Primordial Storm. The reworked Primordial Wave now instantly fires elemental projectiles on all targets with Flame Shock, instead of buffing your next lightning bolt. And all targets hit by this instantly gets Lightning Rod debuff. You get 5 Maelstrom and up to 30% haste for 12 seconds based on target's hit. And it enables Primordial Storm for 15 seconds. Primordial Storm is an uncapped AoE, but it does deal reduced damage beyond 5 targets. It hits 3 times in one global and can proc Wind Fury on all targets hit, so it's an insanely bursty cooldown, which you really want to combine with Doom Winds to guarantee Wind Fury procs. And it also spends up to 10 Maelstrom on either a Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning, which deals 150% more damage. But we also get Ascendance with Static Accumulation and Thorum's Invocation, 20% chance to refund all Maelstrom spent on Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning, and they deal more damage, is just too good to pass up on for Stormbringer builds. And who doesn't like Wind Strike spam Ascendance? Unlimited power! So with that out of the way, let's go over the rotation and opener. On AoE, your opener has a few steps you want to get just right to set everything up for maximum burst. So you Flame Shock into Lava Lash to spread it up to 6 targets, Primordial Wave giving you up to 30% haste and 5 Maelstrom, Doom Winds into Crash Lightning, and then you pop Ascendance into Wind Strike into Primordial Storm, followed by another Crash Lightning, and then Wind Strike spam away and manually Tempest when it procs. And if you play Witch Doctor's Ancestry, you want to squeeze in Feral Spirits after Lava Lash. And outside of Ascendance or following your opener, the priority is as followed. Tempest if it's procced and you're at 10 Maelstrom, Crash Lightning, Chain Lightning at 5 plus Maelstrom, Stormstrike, Voltaic Blaze, Lava Lash, and lastly Flame Shock if nothing else. However, to complicate things just a bit, you can of course play around this rotation a bit, depending on situation, like pulling Tempest procs before a pack or boss or certain boss phase, like first boss in Mists from Season 1. You can also pull Tempest a bit for Primordial Wave, so even if Tempest has procced, you spam Chain Lightning until you have 1 or 2 Tempests ready, so that when Primordial Wave comes off cooldown or going into a new pack with Primordial Wave, you'll be able to slap down 1-2 Tempest instantly, triggering the 6 Lightning Rods you get from Primordial Wave for a ton of extra damage, or things like saving a Voltaic Blaze proc for a new pack, so you don't have to start with a Lava Lash spread. Now on the flip side, to make life a lot easier on us old-timey shamans, Chain Lightning now spreads Lightning Rod. It doesn't refresh it, not even on your primary target, but if your primary target has a rod, 1 or 2 other targets will get a new rod, which means as far as I can tell, there's no need to tab target for Lightning Rods anymore. Just spam bend away. Really, Tunnel? Moving on to single target, it's a lot simpler. Opener is just Flame Shock into Primordial Wave, Doom Winds, Ascendance, and Wind Strike twice, then Primordial Storm when you're at 10 Maelstrom, and Wind Strike spam away during Ascendance. Outside of the Opener or Ascendance, you want a Tempest if available and you're at 9-10 Maelstrom, otherwise Lightning Bolt at 9-10 Maelstrom. Storm Strike if you have 2 charges, otherwise Crash Lightning if you have stacks from the new tier set. You can ignore this step if you don't have the new tier set yet. Then you want a Voltaic Blaze, Storm Strike, otherwise Lava Lash or Flame Shock to fill. One thing to keep in mind is that this build doesn't run Legacy of the Frost Witch, so spending Maelstrom does not reset Storm Strike cooldown. So to keep momentum, it's important that you press Storm Strike when it has 2 charges and then try and fit other globals like Voltaic Blaze or Crash Lightning in between, giving you some more time to proc a new Storm Strike reset. One last note on the build and rotation: due to recent tuning passes, like I mentioned earlier, there is a chance we want to play Witch Doctor's Ancestry rather than Flowing Spirit. However, this really doesn't change how we play more than needing to press Wolves when it's available. One thing you want to aim for is to always line up Feral Spirits with Primordial Storm and Doom Winds, as they massively benefit from the extra physical damage. Now lastly, for our new tier set, the 2 set increases our builders damage, so Storm Strike, Lava Lash, Crash Lightning, and our 4 set gives our spenders a chance to proc Doom Winds for 4 seconds, and Doom Winds increases Crash Lightning's damage when it ticks, and Crash always deals more damage to your primary target. However, getting 2 or 4 set changes pretty much nothing as far as how we play. On AoE, Crash is already high up in our prio list, and on single target it just means we actually cast Crash in between Storm Strikes. But it's nothing we actively play around, it's just there and we slap harder occasionally. Otherwise, as far as gear goes, we still aim for high haste, high mastery on all our gear pieces. One proc trinket like the new improvised Seaphorium Pacemaker from the new dungeon Operation Floodgate. I think there's a guide for that, and an on-use trinket like Signet of Priory from the Priory. For full trinket recommendations, I recommend checking out Wowhead or Icy Veins Enhancement section, or Blood Mallet if you like seeing numbers. And that's pretty much it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hyped for both Primordial Wave and Ascendance gameplay? I am! Now, if you have any questions at all, hit me up in the comments or become a patron, Twitch, or YouTube member. You gain access to the Stankie Discord, shoutouts and videos, and help with anything PvE or enhancement related. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and slap that notification bell for more enhancement content. And it really helps my channel out. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.